few years ago, I had this one really annoying bad habit that I wanted to kick, but I just couldn't, right? After my cross country practice, I would walk over to the 7-Eleven, which was probably a quarter mile away. I would load up on Sour Patch Kids, sour gummy worms, literally sour anything. I would shove them all in my backpack, pay for them, shove them all in my backpack, bike home, and bring them to my room so I could have them after dinner, right? I would, eat dinner like normal, and I would be super excited for my dessert that was coming later. And this habit, continued for probably a year. I probably consumed over 2,000 grams of sugar during that time, which is kind of crazy thinking about it now. And this habit it doesn't sound like a hard habit to kick, right? Because I'm spending this money. I'm taking the time to walk to 7-Eleven. But for me, it was super difficult for some reason. And it took me a while, and the whole reason I quit was because of how bad I was feeling, right? I was feeling lethargic, I was feeling tired, I was feeling lazy, like I didn't want to do anything. After I ate one of these bags of candy, I was done, I just sat in my bed and probably watched a movie or something. And that habit, kicking that bad habit, showed me that I could do all these other cool stuff with discipline, with willpower. And it was really the start of my self-improvement journey. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how I finally quit that bad habit and basically what I did, right? Because it wasn't super easy. It wasn't, as you know, if you've ever tried to quit a bad habit, it's not easy, even though logically it should be, right? You're just, for most of them, poisoning your body in some way, whether it's, I don't know, staying on the couch watching YouTube while binging cookies or something. I don't really know, but something like that, right? You're poisoning yourself, and you logically think that it shouldn't be that hard to kick, but it is for some reason. And I think the big reason for that is because it's meant to be addicting for most of the things. Processed foods, movies, YouTube, they're meant to keep you hooked, and that's really the big reason that they're so hard to kick, even though they're so bad for you. I think one of my most important revelations that I discovered when I was kicking that bad habit was that, especially for that, the whole 7-Eleven run, it was totally useless. It wasn't contributing to me in any way except negatively, right? If I ever stopped for a few days, I felt like I was missing out. And that's illogical, because I wasn't missing out on anything. People that weren't addicted to sour candy like me did not feel like they were missing out on what I was doing, right? A non-Sour Patch Kid eater doesn't feel like they're missing out when a Sour Patch Kid eater eats, right? That's not how they think. And the whole thing to realize for me was that I was addicted, I couldn't really stop. And that it kind of was a problem, because if I continued to think I can stop when I want to, right? It's not that bad. Then I would never have stopped, because I wouldn't have thought about it as a problem. So that was a really big thing for me, is realizing that I couldn't stop and that it was an issue, right? I think realizing that it wasn't serving me in any way was a really big thing, because it made me realize that I wasn't losing anything by taking it away, except I was gaining money back, because I would be saving that money. I was probably spending $20 a week on these candies, so it was a pretty expensive habit, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the other thing was realizing that I wasn't happy eating them, right? I don't think a lot of people are happy eating candy. The candies just bring you back to the state of mind you were when you weren't eating them. Sorry, let me explain that. Imagine your dad is drilling a hole in the wall, right? And the sound is super annoying, like you want to throw a pillow at him or something. I don't know. But then he stops, and you have this like good feeling wash all over you because the sound is finally done. But it's not even a good feeling. It's just the feeling you were feeling before he started drilling. So it's like it feels good, but it's actually just normal. And I think that's basically what candy is. You're feeling like you need all this stuff. Once you finally get it, that feeling goes away. But then pretty quickly it comes back because that feeling, that empty feeling without candy, is caused by the candy. So every time you eat it, you're reinforcing this habit that you need it. And it contributes to the emptiness feeling you feel inside you. And that causes you to come back to it, right? Because once you do it enough times, it's very hard to quit because that habit has been ingrained inside your mind for like so long or so many times that it's basically part of your routine. And I get that. I was very much part of that problem. I think the biggest reason I was able to quit was because, one, a combination of I was feeling so bad and so lazy that I couldn't really take it anymore, right? I was like super tired, super unenergized after I ate candy like that, and I was so sick of it. Another thing is I just realized that it was, one, not contributing to my health at all, and two, it was a totally useless thing that I was wastefully spending money on, and three, the more I kept this habit up, the less likely I was to turn out to be, more successful in the future, because I didn't want to be this guy who ate candy all the time, who was, addicted and needing this sugary reinforcement every day, right? I wanted to change. I wanted to be a better person, and that all started with my health. And so those three things finally allowed me to break free of that chain. I don't think I've had Sour Patch Kids or a sour candy in 2.5 years. And the thing is, like I said before, I'm not chained down to I'm not chained to it anymore. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Whenever my, friends have something, I don't want any. I'm not feeling like I should have any because I'm not missing out on anything. I know what it did to me. I know that it was a really hard thing to stop. So what's the point of ever having it again? I mean, ever is a strong word. I don't know what will happen in the future. I don't know. Maybe I'll develop an addiction again. But even then, I'm glad I did before because now I know I can, get out of it, right? Once you quit a habit now, or the younger you quit a habit, I think, the easier it is to quit it again in the future, whether it's a good or bad habit. So it depends which one you're trying to quit or which one you are quitting. But yeah, quitting candy was really the first habit that worked out for me, or that, I quit. And it was the one that taught me most of the things I know now and I'm speaking about now. So that's really it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you want to learn more about other, self-improvement stuff, maybe stick around. Oh, and also, if you want cool clothing, go to workoutproject.com. It's in the link in the description. So, yeah, thanks for watching.